Hello, everybody. Welcome on another great night. Welcome, the only one of you, Super Bantam, to the CM Kozeman Edging World War III live stream night special. Now, I got something incredible here, which is a camera pointing down to these goddamn cookies. Because there's only one person in here. I don't know, maybe because I had the title Edging. Oh, there are more people. Okay. Dan McAleer, hello. Why doesn't everybody come on in? If you're watching later, please. Edgeheads, we're back. Oh, many people here. Okay. Hello, everybody, and good night. If you're watching now, get settled in. We got the cookies, we got the coffee, we got the art shit, we got all sorts of stuff. And if you are joining us later on the replay gang, please consider to donate to me on Patreon or on Buy Me a Coffee or get some stuff from my merch store. Proceeds on my merch store have been lax as of lately, and there could always be more. Hello, Laura Sinai. Hello, Inexistente. Hello, Stofora. Most of these names are new. Hello, J Virus. Edgeheads, we're back. 18 people in the room. Yes. Greetings. I am here, joined by these incredible cookies. They're dark outside and dark inside, but what's inside is creamy chocolate goodness. And Alo the Moth Cat asks what type of cookies these are. Well, they just explained them to you. Seventh Genetic Studio asks, does Cosman know what edging means? Oh, brother, believe me, I know. Tritemius Finnegan says, hey, hope everything is going well. Hello, everything is going as well as it could be expected. Now, 19 people, go on your Discords, go on your WhatsApp groups, summon everybody. So we get more people in here. Go on Instagram if you can't. Well, I can't. Because in the part of the world where I live, due to mysterious reasons, well, actually due to clear political reasons I'd rather not talk about, Instagram has been banned. The government watching out for the mindfulness of the people. I was outside today and there was literally nobody doom scrolling on the subway, on the metro, on the cafes. The country I am in, Turkey, is the 5th biggest country on Instagram, and well, now nobody's online anymore. And to be honest, I really don't miss the experience of that app. It's made to be as addictive as possible. It is just a waste of time with doom scrolling. With women and young girls, it's actually, I think, a genuine liability. It creates body image problems, psychiatric problems. Now, I don't even use a smartphone, but I felt great not being able to go online, even on my laptop. What I did not feel that great about was getting out of touch with my friends and other people I know. And I even I take some commissions from Instagram, so getting in touch with some of those people was hard, but yeah, I managed and people adapt. If this was years ago, I would be shouting bloody murder. I would be saying, "Oh, they're taking away our freedom of speech." Believe it or not, there used to be almost like 4 years when YouTube was banned in Turkey during the early 2000s. And I was really incandescent back then. How dare they do it? These people are not ready to deal with freedom of expression, blah, blah, blah. But now, I mean, I would be sad if YouTube was banned, but, life goes on, is all I'll say. And of course, in the present day, and I am recording on the 3rd of August, 2024, the world has bigger worries than just Instagram getting damaged or shut down in one part of the world. But yeah, it is what it is. Ah. Dory Sinai says, "Is that why I haven't heard from you on Instagram?" Yes, that's exactly why. I'm hanging around on Twitter now. Find me there. Everybody give this stream a thumbs up, says small. Yes. Coinbit says, "Brother, which cookie are you eating?" I am eating Biskrem. Biskrem. And as I'm eating it, get ready, everybody. Get ready. There is going to be a lot of fun tonight. We're going to be painting. We're going to be sketching. Maybe we'll go on those Google Maps adventures. I really like those. So it's going to be fun. Lori Sinai says, "I don't really use Twitter. Any other alternatives?" No, I'm afraid. You can email me directly. And it has given the whole experience a romantic twist. But I mean, I'm sure this thing will blow over. Either that or World War III will begin, at which point social media will become an academic interest, and who cares? Worldwide Hope says, "Do you used to go live on Twitch? What happened to that?" Well, this happened. You see this thing? I could only use it through OBS with multiple video inputs. I could connect OBS to Twitch. If you don't know what I'm talking about, OBS is this program people use to stream. It's actually a very versatile program. You can practically put anything in there, play a movie, put a background image. It's like Photoshop with layers of image and video. You build up a menu and stuff. Okay. Now I could connect OBS to Twitch. For some reason, I could never get OBS to work with YouTube. So I relied on Twitch a bit. But then on YouTube, I could do streams where I just talk as a talking head, like so. Then I figured how to share my webcam on YouTube. And actually, I figured it live on air a few streams back. And then that was the end of that. Twitch has a very exhausting design. It forces you to stream every day or as much as possible. And I discovered that if I stream more than once every 1.5 weeks, it gets really depressing. I have a great time, but like when you speak on Twitch, when you speak on a stream, it really taxes your brain. KS says, "Hi, hello." YJ says, "With Instagram, Do they just block the website from ISPs, or is it explicitly illegal? It's not illegal. You don't get punished if they catch you on a router or a, oh, what are those, like V tunnel, K tunnel, proxy sites, or there are these programs, VPNs, yes, or if you use a VPN. But I don't, as a principle, I never use VPNs. I was actually having this like almost fight with a friend, and they were all like, oh, I always use a VPN. I don't want the government snooping on my shit. And I was like, yeah, you're probably better off getting all your packets routed through some shaky ass, unreliable, shifty server farm in the middle of China or something. Yeah, I guess that's a safer bet. Yeah, try going to a bank on VPN. Yeah, you do that. You do just that. Okay, 10 minutes have been reached and 25 people. Good night, everybody. How are you doing? Tonight is the edging World War III stream hour. And I guess I duped some of you pretending to talk about World War III and shit, but actually, we're just going to be talking about life and stuff and questions. Cookie says, as if they don't know better, what does edging WW3 mean? Why? And then Tob says, what do you mean edging World War III? Well, look, edging is a term when you just keep to the edge of a climax without tipping over, okay? It's got a number of uses. In this instance, I mean the world is on the brink of a war or some sort of postmodern pantomime that appears and feels like a war. And it will justify or alleviate or deter people's minds from the current crushing economic crisis the world is going through. Challenge accepted, says 7th Genetic Studios. Access bank on VPN and edge to World War II. I don't know, look, if you go to your bank with a VPN, you must be a brave guy. Half your packets get sent from Indonesia or half from some server farm on Montana and something. Cookie sells, well spoken. Well, yes, tonight, this weekend, the weekend of the 3rd of August, 2024, it's a special night. There is a big, well, Israel just assassinated a Hamas leader in Tehran. Tehran screamed something incredible, the likes of which the world has never seen, is going to take place in a few hours. We're still waiting. The ridiculous nature of this incident does not deter from the merciless slaughter of the innocent that Israel has been partaking. In the meantime, in the UK, there are big riots caused by this really cruel murder. And then local nationalists are having a field day over it. I think many places in the US are very close to a boiling point because, look, it all comes down to economics, you know. When people have enough to eat, when they don't have like debts building on debts, they're not that interested in violence. So that's why I call the stream Edging World War III. I've been saying for a number of years now that the economic debt you incurred after everybody incurred after COVID, it's not going to be easy to repay. And the last 20 years, the world has been living on interest, so to speak. And then there are other signs. I mean, like, and I'm not being paranoid or tinfoil hat about this, like everywhere you go, you see large numbers of uneducated, unemployed men just walking around in gangs like fucking coyotes. And when that is the rule, governments are always like, oh, it's kind of like, let's find a reason to put the fear of God on these guys. Because if young unemployed men are not destroyed or traumatized with war, they might plot an overthrow. And that's one factor. Second, obviously, the greatest factor is the cost of living crisis, more acute where I am, but I guess you all feel it. And everybody feels the pinch. A lot of people actually have like nothing to fall back on. So that's another thing. Another like clear cause you can see is that in all European countries, everybody's, including the US, everybody's looking for ways to maybe thinking about draft. Militaries are preparing for something they call peer-to-peer warfare. That is to say, they're not going to be drone striking weddings in mountains anymore, but they're actually preparing for like tank on tank combat, human waves, the likes of which they have been demonstrating in the Ukraine. And those wars eat up men really fast. 500,000 on either side in the Russian-Ukraine conflict. And they're just going to have a party. They're going to get rid of all these yokels, those rubes crowding the streets. A lot of those unemployed, criminally latent, transient men are also going to be thrown into the meat grinder. Everybody's going to be happy, so to speak. I'm being cynical. Malek Ahmed says, Siam Kozuman confirming World War III. Yes, according to intelligence passed on to me by secret loci of power I've been contacting, it's coming down in 2 weeks from now. No, I'm just sharing my thoughts with you. Review Pain says, hello, Siam Kozuman. I'm an Italian guy. Hello. I lived in Treviso, Italy for a number of years. I worked there. It's a great country. Lovely food, lovely people, best people. Ciao to all my Italian friends. Just wondering what you think about Godzilla, a monster that represents the danger of war. To this, I can only say, history proves again and again how nature shows up the folly of man. Godzilla. It's a Nowly, I think it's a Motley Crue song called Godzilla. It's a Nowly song. Godzilla, the way I understand it, almost 40 people watching, by the way. Thank you. Blue Oyster Cult. Yes, thank you, Laura Sinai. Yeah, not Motley Crue. Sorry, I just shoehorned it with the band that has umlauts in the name. And yeah, it's Blue Oyster Cult, not Motley Crue. And they're a lovely band. So, okay, Godzilla, it's obviously, to me, at least it appears, this Japanese religious belief element in kami, or godlike world creatures, godlike earth creatures. They're called kami. Transmuted after World War II into an obvious parable about the risks of nuclear war, and then transmuted once more into a movie franchise. And it's really weird. Like, a lot of intellectual properties are like this. I mean, I'm looking at things like Transformers, which were just created to sell toys. And so is Godzilla. It started out as a movie, then it became a franchise, which became a kind of like capitalistic money pig. But in doing so, these stories still carry really potent messages. I mean, I remember there's this Transformers film. It's an old 1980s feature length animation. And ostensibly, it was created to sell more Transformer toys. Lots of love and lots of icons coming my way. Thank you so much. Whoever's popping those, thank you so much. Anyways, like that Transformers movie was just like a cash cow for to sell toys, but the themes it dealt with were war and death and really serious stuff. A lot of Hollywood movies are that way too. They have an obvious profit motive, but it doesn't make them less thematically significant. So that's Godzilla for you. RoboTP says, "Hi there, hello, my friend." Seventh Genetic Studio says, "Military is just a dumping ground for the unwanted." That's pretty accurate. Well, I don't mean to disparage militaries, but in a lot of the world, I think like a healthy military is a good thing for any country, because I mean, you as a state, you need to be violent sometimes, and you need deterrence. Better to have it than not. I would also never disparage any member of the armed forces in any country. It's a job in which you may get asked to die, and it's a serious stuff. That being said, I think government planners and military planners, when war comes knocking, they inevitably make up those plans. Okay, let's purge the man. That's how it goes. Seventh Genetic Studio says, "I was in the military for a while. It felt like a wasteland. That's why I left. Really disturbed me." Well, hope you're doing better. RoboTP says, "I just drove 19 hours and came home. Take care, Abi. See you later." Man, get a good night of sleep. Emre B says, "Hello, Mr. Kozeman. Worldwide Hope says, we live in such dire times. We really do need a worldwide hope, which is peace." Cupavoid says, "Hi, everyone." Jarmax says, okay, that's a big question. Inexistente says, "Will all tomorrows be translated into other languages?" Yes. Look, before All Tomorrows got picked up by Unbound Books, who are now helping us prepare the English edition in a really nice, awesome book format, I had one dealing with a Thai publisher. There's a dog dying outside my window. And we had one Thai version, and then when I signed over with Unbound, we had like a legal contract and everything. And I just said, fuck it. These guys are great. They have great books. So we signed all translation rights together. Like we will be working with them. And if any further language translations officially come out as books you can buy, it will be from Unbound. That being said, there are a lot of fan translations of All Tomorrows into Japanese, Chinese, Turkish, and Portuguese, Spanish, French, German, even Polish and Russian. They're online. You can find them. Mm. Mm-hmm. Today, I went to my art store and said, "Brother, we're having a great deal downstairs." I said, "What's downstairs? Cooking drugs or something?" "No, come down, man." Turns out They were cleaning the basement when they found an entire container of these really high-end Liquitex acrylic paints. And this is the phthalocyanine blue. And this whole thing, almost a liter, it cost me $2, $2. Like, this cost me $3. This cost me two. Got my value for money. So now we're going to paint with these. But let's read some comments. Jean Nepalo says, here in Finland, we have 900,000 people in military reserve because we have a scary neighbor. Well, you also have sisu, which is a Finnish for like a smoldering war rage, which is a really cool word. And against that neighbor, you have always persevered. Cheers. Here's to the Ural-Altaic Brotherhood between our two great nations. I mean, since this is World War III stream, I guess I could comment on that. Look, I have many Russian friends. Some of the best artists I've ever known are from Russia. Russian people are great. The country is involved in they did a miscalculation. They thought it was going to be a cakewalk in Ukraine. It didn't work out that way. And when this happened in Turkey, there were a lot of people saying, oh, now the Russians are going to kick ass. Russia's going to humble the West and stuff like that. Maybe they will. I think Russia will, in the end, win the Ukraine conflict, by the way. But let's leave our feelings out of this. If you're a Turkish citizen, look at my eyes. If you're a Turkish citizen, what the hell are you doing simping for Russia? For centuries, Russia and Turkey have fought wars. It doesn't matter who's ruling or which regime or which ideology is in charge, because, I mean, if you got more than two brain cells, you just know that politics is all downstream from geography. Russia came close to dismantling Turkey. There's a neighborhood just outside of Istanbul called Yeşilköy, which used to be known as Ayastefanos. The Russian army went there in 1898, this close to destroying Istanbul and scattering you to the winds. And you people are cheering Russian expansionism. Fast forward 1953, your parents may be alive. They may remember those times, or grandparents. 1953. Stalin said, oh, I want these three provinces, Kars, Ardahan, Erzurum. I want them. And Turkey joined NATO. Now, NATO or its constituents may be really evil regimes. I have no doubts to that. What are you doing, though? Like, do you not realize whose bread you're buttering? So there is that. Anyways, Santri Primis says $2 equals 1 million Turkish liras. Well, it used to, it might again. Worldwide Hope says we could give them Erzurum. Look, man. Many Turkish people I know it was a joke, so I'm not going to go too hard on you. Many Turkish people believe the alternative to being a mild autocracy, Instagram gets banned, there's some national decisions you may not always like or agree with. The alternative to that is not being like Sweden or Norway or the UK. The alternative to that is being like Yugoslavia, being like Ukraine, being like Armenia, being like Syria, being like Iraq. The alternative is being meek, resigned, scattered to the winds, no future. Travel to any of those countries and you see what defeat looks like. Okay, I'll leave. I'll and 40 people in the chat. Okay, okay. Hello from London, says Esteban. Ferial says, "Are you guys edging or gooning for World War III?" I'm not gooning for it. It was just a fancy, catchy name which I made to the stream, and it seems to have worked because I got 40 people in the house. Let me eat. Let me have some sip of coffee, and let's do a roll call. Where in the world are you from? Let's hear it out. To the people in the chat, like the stream. Yes, please like the stream and maybe call your friends. Small says, very Hobbesian view, autocracy or failed state, kinda. Well, a bit. All right, man, the Cosmonite army is assembling. Here we are beyond borders, space and time. It's it's a lovely, lovely gang of people organized around curiosity and the lust for life. Bloody Pigeon is from Denmark, Allo Motcat from Texas, Bluestone Games from Scotland, Super Bantam from England, John Sumisu from Texas, Jeran Chiman, greetings from Istanbul, Inexistente, I am Brazilian, Small from Germany, Kapovoid from Ankara, Esteban, Colombian but living in London. If you're in London, go to the Foyles bookstore for me. I really miss it. Foyles, Foyle. Fanatic Kern says Motherland, Sweden. Tob is from England. Cookie is from North Carolina. Hello from California, says Victory Games. Ferial from Ankara, my hometown. Şerefe. Seventh Genetic Studios from Illinois. Lovely US state. Jane Palo from Finland. Özgür Aygil from Istanbul. Poyo is from Turkey. Also message redacted. Maybe they doxed themselves. And then less irritating from Ankara. Emre B is from Constantinople. Cookies says, Kozaman, do you think a possible outbreak of a US civil war is closer than your last thoughts about it in your Civil War movie review, which you made 2 months ago? Okay, that's interesting. Obviously, we had the Donald Trump assassination attempt event. And look, if that thing had gone through, if I lived in the States, I don't know who I'd vote for. Like, if I was an American, I would find Donald Trump boorish, thuggish, clumsy, selfish. But the other side isn't better. They're just evil and manipulative. And I guess if all of my family and everybody I knew was in the States, I would vote for, I don't know, İyi geceler. But then there was this assassination attempt. And if that thing had succeeded, every right-wing militia group in the US would be going Waco or Ruby Ridge. There'd be a million killdozers or many more school shootings. Like, there are a lot of mentally unbalanced people in the US, especially in that camp. So, and they have guns. So, knock on wood, it didn't happen. So, I don't think it's gonna come to a civil war. Like, I know Americans, it will never be like people doing rebel yells and like great armies fighting, or I still don't think it will ever come to a kind of civil war like the one you see in the Civil War movie. What it might come down to would be something like Like, remember, there was this really horrible mass shooting in Las Vegas when this guy like took something like a light machine gun to a hotel room and killed like hundreds of people. So a lot of stuff like that might happen. But if you look at the statistics, it might happen. I mean, you could statistically argue something like that has been going on since 2016, maybe even earlier. There's so many mass shootings and there's so much gun crime and violence in the US. It's not normal, guys. But there are no sides. I don't think there would be clear sides. I don't think any state would succeed. And most Americans are like, I mean, you got cases where like the father is a Republican or maybe a Trumper, or maybe like there's a trailer park mom and she's into QAnon stuff. But then the sons and daughters are completely on the other side, maybe even more radical communists and stuff. Then you got like sons and daughters of ex hippies who are like veering further to the right because their parents are not great at parenting. Like, communities are not politically divided. Like, if you want to look at a real political civil war, look at the Greek civil war after World War II in Greece. There used to be resistance organizations against Germans. Half of them were communist and they did the most fighting. Then there was also a right-wing resistance against Nazi occupation. And then after the defeat of the Nazis, the two sides started killing each other like there was no tomorrow. It was like literally like brother shooting brother in the mountains and stuff like that. But even for something like that, you had to have a prior conflict like the Second World War, which gave guns into the hands of many people and gave them a sort of experience in life. Like, what does it mean to set up an ambush? What does it mean to set up a roadblock? So I don't know. Sentry Primus says, "Is that your painting behind you?" No. Well, I really like this painting. It's by a Turkish surrealist. I can't read the signature, but it's a well-known Turkish surrealist painter. It was painted in 1985. Quite an old one. Emre B says, "Can you make the pros and cons of a civil war? Do you think there are any benefits to any type of civil war?" No, not at all. No. I think like even if you can call that, the only benefit from wars came from look, I mean, wars are either a benefit or a hazard. If as as the quote in Blade Runner goes, if it's a benefit, it's not my problem. But a civil war, no. Nothing good can come out of it. As I told you, like if you have a real ethnic civil war, a lot of men get killed, and that sometimes removes a lot of impediment. A lot of impediments to progress are removed, but no. Astromeme says, "I can't wait for bug facers to become real after many trials of genetic manipulation." Would you take a genetic cure if it could turn you into a bug facer? Question for ages. Inexistence says, "In South America, we have more conflicts and massacres than in most countries. In Brazil, there are massacres and wars caused by criminal factions like CBS." I mean, I think below the Texas border, South America is a whole different ball game. They call it gang violence, but the death toll is higher than many wars. And I think, especially a lot of places like in Mexico and other parts in Mesoamerica or South America, criminal elements actually wield power greater than the states they're in. Mm. Jarmark says, are you answering other questions? Because I asked questions twice. Well, your questions were deleted. Ask it again and I will answer. Can artificial intelligence cause a civil war? Asks Inexistente. 44 people watching. This is a great question. Not by itself. So it will never be like it will not gain awareness and make humans kill each other. But imagine things like ChatGPT. Do you think militaries don't have further advanced versions of them already in their possession? Imagine having something like that and connecting them to a news cycle. Maybe even individually interacting with millions of people to convince them that they need to get out to the streets and like start committing acts of violence. I think you can make terrible weapons with by combining artificial intelligence with social media. They don't even need to be political. You could just make these bots that are indistinguishable from human users, and imagine they just connect. And these things can scale infinitely. If you got one program, you only need servers and they can interact with, I don't know, 30 million people at once. That's the scary part. So they can talk people into suicide. That's something actually I've been dreaming up for a science fiction story. Never had. Like, imagine the possibility of a combined assault, okay? Let me draw this actually. Mm-hmm. Okay, imagine this. Imagine you're completely amoral and you want to deal as much damage to an enemy nation. If anybody from the Pentagon is watching, by the way, I can be your consultant for a tiny sum of $10 million. I can do this for you. Wait, I'm going to get my smart pen out for this, So I got lots of pens and shit. But now we're designing a weapon officially. So I need a smart pen. Yeah, so this is a pen I only have for signing documents. It's a German Schneider 0.6 tip with a kind of blade-like arrangement. So, okay, we are designing. Look, when you're making sketches, always write what you're talking about, okay? And okay, so AI guided social media death assault combined warfare platforms, okay? Date is the 3rd of August. Also, look, when you're dating, never write 3rd, 8th, because this is fucking confusing. Is it the 8th of March or the 3rd of August? Never do this shit. Always write in letters the name of the month. especially if you're labeling scientific samples and stuff. Okay. Damn, he left-handed. Of course, I'm a practicing sinistrist. This hand is only good for one thing, and I can't tell it to you now. 52 people watching. Okay, imagine down here, we got lots of people, okay? So these are all people, and they all have smartphones. And we are really amoral here. We want to kill millions of people using only AI and social media. Now, first, you have to have a kind of cybernetic equivalent of an air force. So here you have, like, quote unquote, agenda and mood distorting systems, or AGMODs for sure, because military loves acronyms, okay? What these do is they use fake news, fake footage, fake discourse, and just like algorithm cheating. So you amplify the bad news only. The effect of the Air Force, quote unquote, is just to create a bad mood in the target country. It doesn't matter if it's about economy or migrants or mental health. The whole purpose of this platform is just to make bad moods, okay? You wake up, you doom scroll, the first thing you see is something bad. Something bad is happening economically. Nobody gets good news. And it doesn't matter. And because of AI, it doesn't matter. Like, they find who the reader is. If it's an old guy with money, they give him economic woes. If it's a young girl, they serve her stories about the mental health crisis. If it's a university student, they give him or her stories about the world coming to the world edging World War III and shit like that. So this is one leg of this system. The second leg is individual targeting, tailored suicide drivers. What do we call these? Like intasus, or okay? What these do, this is a slightly closer to science fiction, but they impersonate real people with AI imagery. But the images they create are not like fake news. They're like, here's my lunch today. Here's what I ate. Look at my cat, etc. Individually befriend people and then learn their weaknesses, and then at the final act, um, enact damage. Now, damage could be suicide or just selling your assets or just making bad choices. So this second system, the Air Force, softens the mood, okay? It makes everyone feel shitty. And then, so this makes everyone feel shitty. And then these really deadly systems come into play and they mimic people individually. Maybe some of your online friends are already like this, And the illusion is complete. They send you pictures, they have an alias, they have alibis. They're like very sophisticated bots that befriend you. And then when you're like, I don't know, man, it's so bad, I don't see a way out now. Then these systems come in and say something like, well, you know, I think about dying too. And then if this thing is officially put into action, like if this thing can be done, this second part is still not 100% reliable. But if this thing can be made to act, then you can have like suicide epidemics. Well, top secret, because this is just too dangerous to leave out. Imagine an AI system like this, just contacting millions of young girls or despondent people, forcing them to suicide. Alo the Mothcat says that's actually happened before. Did it? Well, we got to a really dark place, people. Okay, let's read some chats. If the US Cyber Force is reading, you know, just make me an American citizen and I'll be your man. This first part, it can even be like fake, deep fake songs about suicide and hopelessness and stuff like that. Absent Fish says, good night, got to go. Hope we can all live in a peaceful world. Good night, Absent Fish. Good night, my friend. KS, doesn't help that people are addicted to bad news. They create their own echo chambers. Exactly. And these echo chambers aren't always political. I mean, you just have like pessimism itself, I think, is a stupid echo chamber. American Corsair says, in Belgium, this thing happened. There was a man with children and an AI bot pushed him to sue. Okay, wow. Made him kill himself. Jarmark says, is speculative evolution a bad place to start for short story writing? Well, maybe no. If you write your stories like fictional David Attenborough documentaries, it could work. So imagine, I mean, I'm always reminded of this one recent documentary with the lizards migrating after they're born, and they escape snakes which attack them in groups, and then they go down to the lowlands and grow like the birth, growth, mating, and death of an animal are always great plot points, which also echo with great story writing. So you can focus on the creature's cycle of life and then create a story around that. Okay, I'm just gonna get some water Unclear Rain says, will you be at TetsuCon 2024? I'm afraid not. Travel is just prohibitively expensive these days. I'm barely keeping my head above water as things are. So that's even more reason to donate to me, or maybe buy me a coffee. Buy me a coffee.com slash CM Kozman. And you can thank me for this really scary scenario we created together. Okay, I'll put this aside. I'm gonna get some water, and then we'll paint some stuff, and it will be fun. Just look at this until I come back, okay? Okay, I'll be back and I'll answer all your questions. 35 people watching. This is one of the nicest nights on this stream. So thank you. Okay. Whew. I had a great day, but it was a bit tiring. So I might go to sleep in half an hour, but I really really enjoy these talks. So here we have my palette, which everybody knows is a CD jewel case. I got my brushes, and we got our $2 expensive paint. It's lovely shade of blue, and especially on this yellow paper, it looks great. Brother Man says, is it possible to live in a cave like that Patrick Suskind book and only go out at night to survive on salamanders and snakes? I think stuff like that is possible on an individual level, but I mean, I think as a rule, if you do that, don't expect to have a community around you, because that lifestyle cannot sustain more than one person. Okay. I love this style of painting. I don't even know what I'm doing. Just let the brush take its own course. Cupovoid says, do you have any weird superstitions? Of course, many. I I never kill animals. If I see like even a starving fly, I try to rescue it. Like if there's a fly drowning in a pool, I try to rescue it. If I'm working on something big, I never tell it to anybody because I think people might jinx it. I also think totemic acts are nice. Like if you're really hoping for something to happen, maybe you can light a little candle or stuff. Those things are harmless. There's a lot of chat about the 4B movement, which I think was in Korea when women refuse to interact with men and don't have kids. I think Asian countries are I'm not just Asian countries, but countries on Asia are their cultures have so much to blame for this. There's this really strange. I mean, on paper they are patriarchies, and women are expected to conform. And this is not just in Asia, but also in a lot of the Muslim world as well. Women are expected to conform. They need to be like beautiful but glamorous, beautiful and glamorous, but also servile and hardworking. And they need to look like models, but also be mothers. And it's a unfair stereotype imposed on women. What doesn't get mentioned is that the women who act like they have mastered this really treat other women horribly. So if you're a sane woman in Korea or Japan or Turkey or Turkmenistan or Iran or something, your worst enemies are not just men, but also other bitches who police your actions. Because if you hold out on your own, you're also a threat to them. So there's two prongs to that relentless assault on humanity. And I don't think it's surprising that no woman it's not it's not a woman, it's a grassroots rhizomic thing. I mean, there's no kind of like movement that's imposing, "Oh, okay, everybody, okay, ladies, let's not have families." No. I mean, women with a shred of sanity look at the state of affairs and they said, no thanks. Why would you? All those evil men are raised by even more evil mothers who committed their lives into this charade of gender roles. And you know what? If your society has that, it's fine if it dies out. Really. Something will replace it. Don't worry, the world's got people to burn. We're not going extinct anytime soon. Lagia says, I just found out about All Tomorrow. Such an interesting piece of work. Thank you. Hope you enjoy it. Cephalon Doom, first time commenter. I ordered All Tomorrows and can't wait to read it. Thank you. The title concerned me. Look, it's not happening tonight. I wouldn't be painting here if World War III was going down. I would be in an airport trying to seek asylum somewhere. Michkin says, hello, the first word I heard was bitches. Oh, Allo the Modcat says, "Do you know when they will start sending out all tomorrow's books?" I think by October or November. If you ordered it, you will get it. This publisher, Unbound Books, they're a very well respected publisher. They've always delivered on their promises. And if you got any further questions, you could go to unbound.com and ask them directly there. They always help out. Superban Tom says, any further recommendations for science fiction and fantasy? I'm really looking forward to read Asimov's Foundation. That's a good one. Anything by Arthur C. Clarke is a good bet. Some books by Larry Niven, especially if you're younger and you're in a more kind of like libertarian, swashbuckling state of mind, that's also not bad. Also, if you're interested in science fiction, read a lot of travel books. They really, really have a eye-opening sense, looking at the familiar world in an unfamiliar angle. Galib, lovely name, says, "What are you drawing, Abi? I don't even know myself. I got this really nice, expensive paint at a incredible discount rate, and I'm just enjoying myself," which is always how the best art gets made. Just need to have fun. That's it. Book of the New Sun by Gene Wolfe is an amazing series. I haven't read it. If you say it, it must be good. KS says, "I love this. It looks like a cactus." Yeah, a little. The trick is to avoid overkill. I got so many paintings like this, hundreds of them. If you want to buy this, also let me know. If you buy this, you get this for free. Let me know in the comments. Get in touch with me from my email. Worldwide Hope says, "Do you game occasionally?" No. That's one thing I don't have time for. I wish I did, but I don't. Nin says, "I didn't know you streamed. How are you doing?" I'm doing great. I'm super. Thanks for asking. New Kuhanim post-human. Well, look, these things, they don't have, as far as I'm concerned, they don't have a like story or like, I see this on Twitter sometimes. People draw these like incredible demon forms and then they write these backstories about them, but they're always a bit cringe and they feel contrived. They draw something like this and it's like a four-armed dream catcher of the Lalangian continent or something. Well, you don't need that. This is straight from the heart, straight from the mind. Just needs to be honest, that's all. If you explain these things, you rape their secrets, which you shouldn't do. Glib says, "Up there, there's so much room. Where babies burp and flowers bloom. Na na na, everybody dreams I can dream too. Out there, out where the skies are ocean blue. I could be there and live without a. Cephalon Doom says the Kozaman Cactus Mantis backstory just hanging around. Well, I mean, if I had to name this, it would be like Portent of War or something, which would remind me of the nice night I had with you guys talking about World War III and painting whimsical creatures. Nin says, I'm a proud, inexplicable, otherworldly creature appreciator. You use these very thin and long brushes to make very thin and long lines. Yes. Just a second. Nin says, watercolor is such a frustrating medium for me. I don't know how people manage to work with it. You have to lay flat layers of color and wait for it to dry and then layer again. It just needs to click once. Once it clicks in your head, it's like riding a bike. You can never forget it. Bluestone Games says, when I do art, I only do digital or 3D modeling. If I draw, you do black and white. I should try painting. Well, you should. Nutmeg says, what if the click you hear in your head is a stroke? God. Oy. Well, then it won't be my problem. This is really dark, but I always wish if you could choose how to go, it would be from a stroke or a heart attack. But it's too dark. I don't think about it. Neither should you. Cephalon Doom says, how should I start to paint? Simple strokes like this may tempt me to delve into it. Look, just choose one color and try painting with that. Follow the progression of human art history. Just make things like cave paintings at first, and then and then build it over. You have to use your hands. When you use your hands, you realize, and then no amounts of lessons or tutorials can really teach it. You have to just understand how a brush feels in your hand, how the paint feels on the paper, and then it happens. Ozzy says, From Software needs to hire you so you can draw creatures for their Souls games. I don't know about that studio or those games, but if anyone wants to hire me, you will find that my rates are agreeable. But I will say this, I have turned down games design work before because I want to make CM Kozuman art. And if somebody wants to take that and put it in their game, we can work together. If not, there are a million other artists out there. Bluestone Game says, what kind of game projects did you turn down? It was just more like an indie freelance game kind of thing. And I wish them every success. I mean, it's just not for me. 34 people watching. Is anyone painting or working on a creative project at the moment? Glib says, I think this guy has fake eyes to scare predators. No. Look, I mean, it could be anything in your mind, and I would respect that. But it just needs to be something beautiful, something that makes viewers smile, something that's never been seen before, and that's that. Wait, let me show you something. I'm going to show you works. Blaur Gazur says, I'm not painting, but I'm edging. Well, I hope it's warrior edging. Worldwide Hope is sketching. Fernando Catacayix is designing characters. Allo the Mod Cat is continuing his alien or her alien drawings. Dan McAleer, hello man, is also painting. Where's Blake Richardson? I missed that guy. He'd always pop up and ask me what to paint. Hope he's doing okay. Mikin is shaping wooden knife handles. Man, fellow knife gang, rise up. This is my knife. I found I think this is a sheep bone while trekking. I took it to a knife smith and had them make it into a stiletto. It's like chop, chop, chop. Perfect for stabbing now. You could even use this with a kind of like, you can strike on the draw. Imagine this is here and you go just chop. First draw, you hit somebody. And you could just go this and plug. But as they say, you only have one knife fight, so not in a hurry. Ninnin is going to make a hat out of the fur of their cat. Allo the Mod Cat says bro's going to fight with a bone. Well, I hope not. I really love this thing though. Wait, let me show you. I really love this thing. It's got this kind of pommel, which is a perfect fit for my thumb, as you can see here. So if I grip it like so, it's a perfect grip. It doesn't slip, it doesn't hurt. It's 100% ergonomics. So I can just, with this I have, normally you're meant to grab a knife like so, like this, okay? And this does that great too. You have to get on your knee, you have to get on your heels and go chat, chat, chat, chat, chat. But I'm always better with this kind of grip, and I have this like weird underhand strike that I can make. And it's really fun. Bam, bam. I could do this, follow with the knee, chat. I hope I never have to use it. This is fun though. It's a nice sport. You could just stab yourself on the webcam. I'm going to show you one of my favorite surrealists. Max Ernst. Just a second. Mm-hmm. Okay, we are looking at Max Ernst artwork. And he paints stuff like this, but also stuff like this. Oh. Mm-hmm. So these are some of Max Ernst's works. He makes collages from biology textbooks and just arranges them into weird humanoids. Or he has some really nice, almost H.R. Giger type oil landscapes, which are incredible. Now, it could be for him to say, this was the glass planet, and, here is the princess. Sorry. Here was the sad princess of the glass world, or something like that. But when you attach like these concepts, inevitably they're going to be more boring than the stories people make up in their own dreams. So that's why at least in terms of surreal painting, just a second. In terms of surreal painting, I never outline secrets or anything. Yeah, Max Ernst, Maxernst. There's a lot we can all learn from these past masters. And, names like Picasso or Matisse, they're not household names for nothing. I think they're incredible artists. So don't look down on them because they're mainstream. Dali, Chagall, Modigliani, a lot. Now we're doing something called layering. Now it dried, so we're having the same color in a second pass, and we're just giving it extra shades like so. I'll tell you this much: it takes at least 5 years to understand how paint leaves a brush. So take your time with this. Zasar says, "Hello, CM Kozaman. Hello, my friend." Do you have the surrealist book, Surreal Friends, with you? No, it's in my own house. I'm broadcasting from my parents' house. I got thousands of books at home. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them all. So I think this is done. I'll maybe draw the cosmonite sun here. And then have the twin circles here. Just so. Mikin says, can you also cut stuff with the bone knife? No, it's not a great cutter. It's got a sharp edge, but it's best for stabbing. It's very hard and rugged and very light. It's got a special density. You don't get this with metal. Worldwide Hope says, I am moving out and I got a lot of books too. Most of them are filled with books. Well, yeah. It's a nice kind of hassle. Okay, this is done. 36 people watching. Do you want to take a world tour? Do you want to like tour somewhere on Google Maps now? Or maybe one more painting? You choose. Okay, wait. I'm going to make you choose. Oh, 1, 2. Do you want one more painting or do you want the world tour? Why don't you decide while I answer a call of nature here? Jean Nepalo says paint. Worldwide Hope says paint. Worldwide Hope says maps. Getting a bit tired. Okay, I'll leave the painting aside for now. Sorry. And then Inexistente says, have you played GeoGuessr? Okay, let's play GeoGuessr. If it's online, I can play it. Worldwide Hope says World Tour. Okay. Message received. Okay, let's look at GeoGuessr first. Oh, you can't play it online, so sorry. Okay, let's take a world tour, but where should we go to? I always like touring America, you know me. So give me some suggestions. Where should I visit? Where should I visit? Where should I visit? Where should I visit? Answers. Vermont, says Mikin. Okay, I always wanted to go there. Where in Vermont, though? It's a whole state. Milady Cass says, hi. Glib says, Hawaii. Okay, maybe. Okay, give me a city in Vermont now. Okay, Burlington it is. Burlington, Vermont. Okay, you can see it. That's good. Let me know if it blanks out, okay? So this is the city. There's the old North End. There's these neighborhoods. Interesting areas. World's tallest filing cabinet. There's the airport. Okay. I want to drag my man here because these areas look interesting. Yeah, that little corner here. Lovely. Are we allowed to talk about non-World War III topics, says Milady Cass? Of course. We've been talking about a lot of stuff, so don't worry. Okay, let's explore Walnut Street. Once again, look, certain things are just so fascinating to me, which is like, how can you feel safe when your windows are open to the street and anyone can come in here? I guess people are civil that way. The streets are very wide and spacious and they're beautiful. You have to have a car, but I love these little houses. I mean, I could see myself living here. Nice. And what always fascinates me are the parking lots. There's so much space. Look, this is incredible. This is not a very well-off neighborhood. It's almost like a sidelined place, okay? But even here, there's a sidewalk and there's the green lawn next to the sidewalk. Like somebody cuts the grass here, which is just incredible to me. I can't even comprehend that. Who does it and why? Somebody clears the leaves from this tree even though it's in a semi-public area. Like who? Oh, everything is so well manicured. Worldwide Hope says, good night. Ninin says, try Asheville, Ohio. Okay, let's go there then. Good night, everyone. I'm going to go to bed soon, too. Let's go to Asheville, Ohio. Yeah, that's a nice town. There's a Viking festival. I like this grid. Let's drop. Oh, we can't drop there. Let's just drop here then. It's incredible how similar these places are in the US. There's a great big uniformity. Looks like the Google car was not performing well because these images look so old and dated. Such nice places. Everybody has a car. Americans love their grids, huh? Says Glib. Well, yeah. Mikin says, Metropolis, Illinois. KS says, Christ, I've been trying to message you on Twitter for the past hour. Nothing will send. Well, maybe the government is throttling Twitter too. I don't know. Okay. Many people are giving recommendations. Let's explore Asheville first, and then we'll. All I can say is these places are beautiful, but let's go find something like a supermarket or something. This looks like a commercial street, but we can't drop there. Where can we drop? Oh, it's right next to Columbus, Ohio. Okay. So now we landed in a slightly messy part. Houses are boarded up. Yeah, still, even for places anywhere else in the world, people will pay millions of dollars to own a place like this. Cue the Ohio meme, says Milady. Yeah. Milady says, Edison, New Jersey. Probably named after Thomas Edison. Okay. It's a big town. Yeah, it's almost right outside New York. There's lots of railways and stuff. Well, let's go to Petco. Yeah, I want this. This is an incredible experience. Like this parking lot thing, I can't wrap my head around this. And here's the Petco, where you can buy many pets, I guess. You got even cars have personal space in the US. I mean, I will show you a comparison now. American friends, watch closely. Now I will take you to a very upscale part of Istanbul and show you a supermarket with a parking lot, okay? And then you will understand. Then you will know. You see the MMM Migros. MMM means triple M, so it's the best kind. And this is the supermarket. You see, this is the parking lot we have. This is like the local equivalent of a gigantic Walmart where you can buy anything. It's got the pharmacy here. There's even a gym up here and some very upscale apartments up here. But this is the parking lot you get. This is the most parking you can get. The most parking. The most parking. Look at the cars. Like, I bet one parking space is worth 2 in Turkey. And of course, this parking lot is not free. You have to, there's a maximum time of half an hour for free parking. So you have to get in, get out real fast. If you stay any longer, you have to show a receipt that you spent, I don't know, over a certain amount of money in this place. So actually, the guy in this cubicle whose only work it is to check that will let you out. If you try to get out of here, he won't let you through unless you show a receipt from the Migros proving that you spent more than, I don't know, $30 or something in there. So this is why small, I don't know, Volkswagen 2010 model, second-hand Volkswagen Golf, and drive it from town to town in the United States, and then just, I don't know, meet people, paint, draw, do this, but in all those roadside cafes and stuff. I mean, here's something we have that you don't. This is the bridge that connects Europe to Asia. This is the foot, and it just runs over the city like a gigantic Blade Runner kind of structure. And this is Europe, and then it goes to Asia. And then actually, boom, boom. Wait. And this is the rest of that town. It's a very nice, old, and bustling and living kind of place. Here's another supermarket. There's no parking. Well, there's parking space for 2 cars here. If you're lucky, you can just enter from this ramp and park there. But as you can see, most people do their groceries with bags. And actually, if you're older, a decision factor in real estate purchases is if the place is on flat ground, because there's no way you're going to be driving around. You'll have to just go individually and pick up your grocery and come back. It is healthier, but it can also be a hassle. And here is a maybe 200-year-old house. Once upon a time, the entire neighborhood was like this, but this is the last house that survived. So that's how Turkish cities are. Cambrian Aquarium says, that was depressing. The amount of concrete in America is very grating. Well, all these houses are concrete too. Based Walkable Cities gang. Milady Class says, react to San Francisco, California. Never. I have actually driven to San Francisco. I've driven all around the city. Despite everything nice I have said about about the States, I immediately hated San Francisco. Well, I mean, I only loved one part, which was Marin County, which I just happened to like pass through on the way in there. I love that area. I hated. It's not because of the crime or the junkies, even though I visited in 2016 and yeah, some of that was around. I just hated it. They just lay out a grid plan over hills, and you got all these hills and stuff, and it's just a rootless place. Nobody knows what they're doing in there. Nin Nin says, me and my boyfriend live close, but it's a 30-minute drive. Milady Class says, how is the crime rate in Turkey? Let me look that up. Turkey is actually very safe. I mean, it's always been on the decline since the past 10 years. The murder rate is literally like close to 0. But wait. Sometimes you do have burglaries, but they usually come they usually come during the summer. Like in a place like this, you would almost have 0 crime because there's always people watching out. Like if you have a house here, then this shop is open 24/7. And then like there's people around. There's a mosque here, which means there are old people around and everybody watches over each other. Nothing bad can happen to you here. If you go to a place like this, just a second. I mean, there is this area which is, oh, I can't even drop a man there. So there are areas like this which are more dilapidated and run down. And if you're maybe here at 3 a.m., bugs here, and if they want to mug you, I guess they can, but you have to go out of your way, you know? And as you can see, I mean, even in this is like a very, very poor neighborhood of Istanbul. And everybody's got steel doors, so it's very rare. Most crime that happens is actually domestic violence, which is okay, it's there, but still. Chasing Moon Moth says hi. I think the crime rate in Turkey is definitely lower than the crime rate in the US. Definitely. Okay, another suggestion for places to go while I check some messages. Inexistente says, go to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Cauliflower says, hello, long time Turkish friend. I hope you're doing great. A gym in a supermarket is unheard of in the US, says Milady Class. Okay. Check out German Village in Ohio. I know that place. It's a very nice walkable area, but maybe later. Milady Class says San Juan, Puerto Rico. Capo Void says check Eskişehir. Well, if you've been following my channel, I have some city travel videos about Eskişehir. So those are great. What about Ürgüp? I don't think Google Maps has much stuff on Ürgüp. I'm going to check out San Juan, Puerto Rico. This is the sort of nether state that has all the benefits of being a US protectorate and all the benefits of not being a state. Tight grids here. This looks like a floodplain. Let's try here. Nice. It's a bit like Turkey, but still in an American plan. I mean, the streets are wider. Crime is a thing here, I think. And you should no parking because he can't write the letter N. Oh. I guess crime is a thing here. Everything is boarded up, but it's nice. Lots of gardens. You see, this is the kind of house that the entire United States should adopt. Instead of these like penetrable wooden boxes, you need something like this, which this is exactly what you need, okay? The ground floor should be walled up, no windows, just like a fortress. And then if you have a patio or a living place, it should be upstairs so nobody can like disturb you. And this is it. And it should be made out of concrete, rebar, and bricks, something more substantial than those plywood boxes everybody can shoot through. Team Fortress 2 says. Milady Class says, is Turkey a safe country for LGBTQ people? Yes. Even though Pride Walk events are not allowed for a couple of years, I've never seen anybody have a problem with their lifestyle. I mean, some stuff gets exaggerated in the media, but yeah. Then again, if you're born to a traditional Turkish parent, and if you decide to come out, it doesn't mean you won't have problems. But even then, to my knowledge, getting actually disowned is very rare. There are a lot of cases where, like, maybe the father is a deadbeat dad, and then the son realizes he's gay, and then the mother actually really protects the son, or if she decides to become trans, the mother like supports her and stuff like that. It is still a marginalized existence, but there's no, I mean, you're not thrown from buildings, or there's no state punishment. Then you can actually have a very rich love life too. There's a mosquito that's been bugging me. I managed to swat it. Ozzy says, if you're not looking for a problem, you'll be fine. Okay, Puerto Rico is interesting. Let's zoom out. Go to another part, maybe like a beach or something. Some nicer houses here. Again, everything is boarded up. I mean, compare this with the dilapidated, bad neighborhood in Istanbul we just saw, and Puerto Rico is more fenced up than even the worst slum in Istanbul. So there's that. God. Yeah, some ominous vibes from this place. I'm sure it's great, but there's also no street life that I could discern. That's just houses. It's probably selection bias on my end, but like, there's a Burger King. This looks like a urban place. Okay. Yeah, there's no civic life here. I mean, yeah, if you can maybe come to the taco maker and be made into a taco, I guess. Or come to La Casa del Hooper, which is Burger King. They have a drive-through. You don't see many people enjoying their life on the streets here. I mean, this is an interesting place, but once again, boutique. Yeah, nice place climatically and naturally, but it's not very civic. In existence, this looks like Brazil for some reason. Yeah, that's what I thought. Ozzy says it's like a prison city. I mean, look, if you say that now, what can foreigners say about Turkey, huh? I mean, it is what it is. Let's look at the outskirts. Okay. Oh, plenty of places we can go. Urb El Conquistador. This looks like a fancy neighborhood. Boom. Yeah, they're just emulating America with fences again. Look, I'm an optimist, but this place is a bit. This place is a bit sad, man. I'm sure there's great parts that I haven't looked because, dropping pins into 3 streets doesn't count, but fence, fence, fence, fence, fence, fence, fence, fence, fence. Only fence. Not a huge fan of that. Okay, give me another recommendation. Somewhere in the United States or the Western world. Because to me, that's the foreign place. What a big world, huh? What an amazing big world. And we haven't even scratched the surface. Oh. Inexistence says, please, Rio de Janeiro. Okay, I'll take you there. I've never been there. My mother was born in Brazil, by the way. Because my mother's father was a diplomat. Okay. Where should we go? This is interesting. This is the vintage city planning with the semicircles. They're very alienating to be in. Yeah. Look, this looks more civic than, this looks more humane than Puerto Rico. I think Brazil has actually more crime than Puerto Rico. But still, you saw people walking around and I don't know. Okay, let's drop a man here. You see there's a street with shops and people living in it, people walking around. These old houses are beautiful, by the way. I think the whole neighborhood used to be like that before the apartments were built. The apartments are wonderful looking too. This is really a lot like Turkey. I'm sure there's like lots of crime here too, but still, there's life in the streets. Look, this girl is taking some laundry somewhere. People are sitting. There's a Pokeball place. Okay. This reminds me of Turkey and also a bit like Tel Aviv. See, you got these apartments and people go out of their way to like add color to things. It's a nice place. This is probably an upscale neighborhood. I don't know, but yeah, gets your underwear from Eddie Malingerie. It's women, pets. Look, within the street, there's a restaurant, there's some shops. Beautiful. Pixel Platypus says, hello, what are you doing? Inexistence says, visit the outskirts of Rio de Janeiro. Okay. It's a huge city. We landed in a, I wouldn't call this a favela, but it's a developing place. Even here, compare with Puerto Rico, there's lots of fences, but there's people around. There are more commercial establishments intertwined with the rest of the city, which seems to be what saves Brazil. Look at this king just sitting here. Oh boy. Okay, this is not bad. This looks like a summer place in the Mediterranean. Of course, everything is fenced up and boarded up here too. Oh. Ion Nomane says, try Shishti dry cleaner. Okay, maybe. The favelas are in the mountains, says Inexistente. Okay, let's check that out too. I don't think this is a favela, but it's again a nice neighborhood with some corner shops and narrow streets, which means I'm comparing these with Puerto Rico, of course, but I could not find the favelas. Search for rock. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this may be the favela. Yeah, this is still, I mean, I guess you would have to know your way around this place, but still 10,000 times better than Puerto Rico. I mean, people are actually like out on the streets, and there's a place you can sit and eat like a human being and talk to other people like a human being. Imagine how many places in the US don't have this. And this is a commercial establishment, and like your house is right here. Okay, it's not much, but still. There's a supermarket. Okay. To quote a brave man, lower the camera, says KS. So I'm lowering the camera. This looks like it's. It looks like it's been carried on somebody's backpack. And that's why they only walk through the main streets, I guess. Please check Seinäjoki, Finland, says Janne Palo. Okay, let's look that up. Seinäjoki. Okay, where are we now? Oh, it's in like. Oh. It's a part of the world I've never been to. Ugh. Boom. This is a very European landscape. Now, trimmed trimmed lawns, some natural forest, lots of roads, not as wide as American roads and not as many grids, and some buildings, the functions of which you can only wonder at. We're going to a place called Kasperi. Okay, what's here? People are on bikes. This is very Euro. Let's go to the city center, though. There's a train station, can't go wrong with that. People live very discreetly here, huh? I like that. Still like pretty dense, but lots of privacy. And compare this with this American example where everything was kind of like facing out to the open. Okay, let's take a look at here. Again, like more crowded than the US, but also very discreet. You barely see a porch. It's the European way, I guess. Pixel Platypus says, have you heard of the character Mr. Blobby? Yes, it's from... Yeah, I did. It's the pink blob-like thing with green eyes. I never watched it, but I know of it. This is beautiful, says Ozzy. Yeah, it's in a weird way a kind of settlement that resonates the most with the Turkish mind. That is to say, kind of free and open like the US, but also a bit discreet, where everybody can like have their own life and it's a bit more sheltered. Oops. Cauliflower says it looks a lot more livable. Pixel Platypus says, do you know about the Mr. Blobby song? Well, I'm afraid not. Take a look at the local city market. Okay. Yeah, this is like, I like this. I like this a lot. The street could be a bit more narrow, but like you got the restaurant, but you also got flats above it. Too many zebra crossings. It's okay. And here are the shops. The quintessential Asian massage parlor. And you could get edged there, that's for sure. Yeah, imagine all of US, all of America built over in this style. I mean, just look at this corner. You got the shops, you got the cafes, you got a place to hang out. People walk, but can also drive. Yeah, nice place. Okay, 2 hours. I'm very close to sleeping. Bloody Pigeon says, the museum in Ftanum, the museum in Nibul, Germany, will host a Ftanum B exhibit, which is this great speculative evolution project created by Tanami Mobcanon, a great artist and a great online friend. So yeah, I don't know if I want to go to Germany or yeah, I like Czechia more. So I'm taking Mikin's suggestion and we're flying to Brno, Czechia now, okay? BRNO. You got a lovely lake. Always there are great places by these lakes in Europe. Oh, oh, okay. This is okay, it's just a lake. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go closer to the main city then. And this obviously is the old city, which is the best part of town. Yeah, this is my element. I don't know about you, but I like my streets narrow. Like it should be crossed in 8 steps max. Beautiful. Got a lot of this like clear European functionality, and then a lot of these pre-war buildings. Obviously, the Döner kebab house. This is nice. Not a car in sight, by the way. A lot of, yeah. Oh, wait. Okay. This is a nice brutalist building. So nice. Not as, I mean, yeah, I could see myself hanging around here, but it would be too cold in the winter. But I guess maybe I could have a drink at Bark Teddy, or maybe not. So in Europe, usually you have this kind of thing, which is like the old town, which is built within the historic walls of the city. I might be wrong. Maybe this is not the old town, but it looks like that from the map. Usually outside the city, there would be these suburbs, which are more like suitable for a Smith's cover. Yeah, like this. Probably from the communist era, this one. But still, like livable places. You need a car, though. Okay. Okay, everybody. Almost 2.5 hours. I'm a bit tired. 26 people still with me, so thank you for your time. I'm going to show you the main street in Ankara, the town I was born in. And then we can say goodnight the proper way. Pixel Platypus says go to Blackpool, but later, not tonight. Okay, we're going to start near. This is Ankara, where I was born. Wait. So we're going to start from here. This is a great Sheraton hotel. And next to it is this great big shopping mall named Karum. And we're going to walk down memory lane now. I must have walked this road hundreds of times with my parents, my grandparents, a lot of people who are not alive anymore. But yeah, this is the urban heart of the Turkish capital. And I just really love this walk. If you know what we're doing now, please let me know in the chat. Some of you might know this. There's a police roadblock. Okay. Can we see? What? Okay. So this street goes down the heart of Ankara, and it starts from this nice shopping mall and these very nice luxury apartments. I would love to live here so bad. This is the big mall. Everything you need is here. There's the bus stop. Let's go down, down, down. There's a luxury shop. We're not going to Tehran, huh? There are some more apartments, but now I'm just rushing through this. So you see this yellow building. Right here is an embassy. I think it's the Russian embassy. So it's very well guarded stuff. And then this yellow building, when I was like 5 or 4 years old, okay, this building used to host this big restaurant called RV, Reve. And it was on the upper floor here. And the building has a circular plan, and everybody used to run around on it. And you could just view the whole city from here. And I remember my grandfather like hosting big family dinners for my father and my aunts and all cousins and everybody. And he would pay by check. It was that old. There were no credit cards. And the whole city at night was visible. So now after this embassies and luxury shops, you come to a more like lively place. And what I love doing here is, here's the park, a really nice small park, and everybody's enjoying themselves here. This is a bookshop, and this is a coffee place. You just go down the street, and then you come to the sort of main street, the high street kind of place with, again, lots of office places. There's a great pub here. It's got what might be one of the smallest Starbucks branches. Oh, by the way, if you go here, this place downstairs, there's a second-hand bookshop. You can get your book. Then there's also a bank here, which also has a bookshop. This is a very, like, people love books here. And then here you got the small Starbucks. You can just grab it and then keep walking down the street. Hotel Tunalı is a great place to stay. And then, like, you'll definitely run into some friends just walking down the street. Walk, walk, walk. By the time you finish your book, when I was a kid, my doctor's office would be here. Now it's a restaurant on this building. These buildings are from the 1950s, some of them. And then it gets more lively, you know, shoe shops, Burger King and stuff. A lot of family memories here. My aunts used to love shopping at Mango. They would always go here, and Spencer's too. These are legacy shops. And there's still apartments upstairs you can I mean, I would love to live here. And then you go and go. There's a brutalist building. Anyways, that's nice. Roy Whalen says, book, ribbon, star, explosion, galaxy. Milady says, will you react to Sydney next? Next time. It's been 2.5 hours. I really got a headache now. I'm going to go to bed, everybody. Thanks for this night. I hope you enjoyed the surreal painting. I hope you enjoyed the cyber warfare experiments. And I guess World War III didn't start, so I guess we're safe for one more day. Good night, everybody. I really enjoyed hanging out with you tonight. Many people came, which made me really happy. That was that. And as always, stay safe, stay hydrated, and have fun. Boom. You're getting sprayed. Sprayed. Sprayed. Spray.